So, hello everyone, this is Dr. Swati Mishra, and we'll be continuing with the further sessions of Indian business houses. In previous 2 to 3 sessions, we have been discussing various business models which have been implemented by different business houses and how these business models have actually helped in the strategy formulation for all these big business houses. And I have given you around the 12 different models of business houses to study, and we have also understood some of these business models through some relevant examples. Now, once we have understood that what are the different types of business models which are being used, it is far more important for us to go through some cases also, and some or we will be discussing the business models of some particular organizations to make these business models more clear to you people. So let us start with the main discussion part. And before starting, I would like to introduce you to the learning objectives of today's session. This session basically aims at analyzing the business model of Flipkart. And of course, another objective of today's session is going to be the detailed understanding of what Flipkart actually is, to get an insight to the revenue generation by Flipkart. The One of the objectives of this session is to understand the functioning of Flipkart and to get an insight to the other sources of revenue generation of Flipkart also. As we will move ahead with this session, after this session, you would have analyzed the business model of Flipkart in detail. You will also have a detailed understanding of what Flipkart actually is. You will carry the insight to the revenue generation process of Flipkart. What are the different sources of Flipkart's revenue generation, and you will have a deeper understanding of the functioning patterns and functioning methodologies of Flipkart. So as we move ahead, and we'll be doing this analysis of this big business house of India nowadays, which actually became so big within a span of 1 decade, or 1 decade and a few years more. So this industry has gone big in a very small span of time, and that is what makes us, so keen about understanding the business model of this organization, because it is one very successful business which runs in India, and that is why we are studying it foremost in the sessions of Unit 5's case study discussions. So today, every Indian is aware of this e-commerce site which is called as Flipkart. It is actually a company which grew very tremendously over the time, and it actually worked its way to the top and got a lot of attention from the big names like Walmart, who actually acquired this company for a whooping $16 billion. So in India, the second largest e-commerce platform currently is Flipkart, and it has made lots of profits around in billions. So that is why it becomes a key business house to be studied. Had we not studied this business house, we would have left something major to be understood in this course of Indian business houses. So Flipkart was actually first idealized by these two guys who are in front of you on the screen, and their names are Sachin and Binny Bansal. They're not siblings or relatives, but they studied together. So they both used to work in Amazon as executives, and the Bansal duo, who are often mistakenly thought of as brothers, were able to, successfully design a business model based on their experience and expertise that they achieved while working uh, with Amazon, and earlier they had passed out from IIMs. So their business scheme led to the initial funding process from external sources from where they arranged their initial capital to be invested in their business. Then, as I said, the initial capital which they invested was around $5,600 only, and towards developing a very ideal online bookstore. So this is how actually Flipkart was started. It was initially conceptualized as an online bookstore. 2 years later, after their initial launch, Flipkart gained enough potential to raise around $1 million from Axel India. And then they later formed alliances with Tiger Global, raising in a total of around $10 million in 2010, and then $20 million by 2011 only, which means 1 year. So this is how the progress was going on with the Flipkart guys, and they were actually on their way to the top-notch companies, top-notch e-commerce companies in a very small period of time. So, talking about this journey of Flipkart founders, their names are Sachin and Vinny, as I told you. These two young entrepreneurs who actually gained, reputation for transforming India's e-commerce industry as the founders of one of the biggest online shopping website in the country, which is known as Flipkart. So this has been, a very brave journey from launching the site from their own two-bedroom apartment to a building which is now around worth 1 billion US dollars. So this, business growth, which has been shown by these two guys, has actually inspired a lot of startuppers who are constantly planning to come up with some kind of startup business. So, contrary to their name, the two businessmen are actually not related, as I told you, but they had a shared destiny even before Flipkart was born. They both grew up in Chandigarh, and then they later both studied in at IIT Delhi, which is considered as one of the top graduate schools for the people who want to study technology. So after working in different companies for a year, they both ended up at Amazon, which is one of the biggest e-commerce sites of the world. And that is when this idea, or this little seed of starting something of their own was sown in their minds, and this idea was born actually, that now we have to establish something of our own. So they raised somewhere around 2 lakh rupees investment each from their families and kicked off a website somewhere in October 2007, which sold only books from the retailers in the beginning. So this is how it was actually started. So it was a time when software was on a boom, but it was a brave attempt to be a pioneer in India's e-commerce industry. As the customers were not very used to do online shopping at that time, because a lot of population of India was not as techno savvy as you know the move showed. So you know because of this, the reason that the population was not acquainted to online shopping, a lot of people considered that this move was a risky move for them, leaving a good job and starting something of their own, and that too with such a high risk that it might not even be accepted by the people. But thankfully, or maybe they were visionary enough that slowly internet is going to grow in India as well, the way it had been growing in the other Western countries and European countries and US. So they had this faith that even India has always been a very welcoming country to new technology and newer thoughts. So they considered it a good sign of starting something new. And e-commerce was something not actually worked upon at that time. I'm talking to you about around 15 years back from this date. So that is why it was a big move for them. And you know maybe it was so innovative at that time period. And since there were not many players, this was one thing that gave them a good advantage. That time there were very few people in online business actually, like Amazon and eBay. So it was a time when actually software was becoming coming in boom. There were a lot of IT engineers who were graduating. People had started understanding that yes, internet is a blessing now, and they had started using it. And of course slowly things were changing, and now to even every person has a smartphone and they have internet connection in it. And they've started understanding that yes, doing online shopping is far easier than actually going to some mall, unnecessarily crawling over there and hunting for things, when you can actually see the entire product in different dimensions and different ways. And you can also talk to the people who have actually used that product. You can see and check their reviews whether the product has been good or not. And then slowly things are changing so wisely that they even have they made such good steps. All these online shopping websites are giving you return policies also, 7 days return, 15 days return policies. So you know now the things have progressed so much that people have started believing that yes, now we need to go to the online pool of shopping, and the behavior of consumers have changed regarding online shopping. So that is why it was that time when people were not so acquainted with online shopping. It was considered to be a very brave attempt to be a pioneer in India's e-commerce industry, because I just told you that the customers were not very used to online shopping. They were hesitant. They were scared that they might be fooled, and lots of such things were happening. So they had to actually build trust amongst the people, and as well as they had to groom a culture of browsing goods online, and they had to tackle that all the challenges that the nature of this business brought to them. So, altogether, they had to completely develop a new culture in Indian shoppers to rather do shopping online instead of going to some stores and malls. So their success was largely dependent on the delivery time of the products. So obviously, if the delivery time is too long, there are a lot of shoppers who would either prefer to go to some shop and get it, or maybe they will. Now there is so much of competition, and there are so many websites offering the same product and at very competitive prices, that you will not even try to stick to them if it is taking too long for them to deliver it. So price is of course one consideration. The second consideration is the speed of delivery. So how well planned your logistics and supply chain is. That was another very big challenge for this organization, for Flipkart. So that is why I said that their success was largely dependent on the delivery time of the products. So they decided to launch their own supply chain management system. So when we are talking about understanding the business model, you have to understand that they did not, outsource their logistics and supply chain. Rather, they understood that it is not only the website that we have to manage; we also have to develop our own logistics and supply chain management system to make sure that the orders arrive to the people's doorstep on time, and sometimes in time, right? Which means before the deadline. So they were also the first ones in India to provide the option of cash on delivery actually. Might be surprising to you, but it is true. So, which is now, of course, it is widely used today among other online businesses also. So, their hard work and their perseverance in this business actually led to the covering of 60% of the domestic e-commerce market and to 50 million customers who are buying everything from their mobile phones, right from their groceries till their jewelries every day. So it was a big blessing for such people. And slowly the population started understanding that, a lot of things could be actually bought online. And the offers, the guarantees, the warranties, the cash on delivery option, the other payment options from UPI and all, and the fantastic logistics and supply chain management that they have, all these considerations in their business model actually made them grow so fast and reach in the list of the top notch companies of Indian online business so fast. So their complement, these two guys, they have a very complementary personality towards each other also. They have high expectation, and their personality and their expectations actually help them uh, to the honor of owning India's number one online shopping platform today. Communication was also very essential component of their success, and you know in one of the interviews with the Economic Times, this guy Vinny Bansal, you know, he had said that of course they had gone through lots of ups and downs within the first 8 years of their business, but he said that they were fighting every day came up with a new challenge. So don't you consider, for those who are actually aspiring to be entrepreneurs in future, please do not consider that it is going to be a cakewalk once you have launched your business. It's a very difficult thing. And especially for the startups, initially, where startups with small capital investments, the initial years, or I can say the first decade of the business, goes with the struggle every day. You have to win, you have to fight, and you have to win every day. Similarly, the one of the co-founders of this organization, Sachin, he says that he hopes to see Flipkart as a $100 billion company in the near future. And they are trying to gain a huge user base in small towns and villages as well now. So his goal doesn't seem far-fetched, having multiple acknowledgments behind his back. Sachin was also honored as the best entrepreneur in 2010 itself, which is almost within 4 years of his launch of. All right. So I was telling you that within 8 years, this organization had gone very big, and you know this co-founder of Flipkart, Sachin Bansal, was hoping to see Flipkart as the 100 billion US dollars company in the future. And they were also gaining base in the small towns of India, along with a lot of villages also in India. So that is why his goal did not seem very far-fetched, and having multiple acknowledgements at his back. I just told you that he also won the best entrepreneur award in 2010 by Ernst and Young. um, so that is why you know this organization was slowly becoming very trustworthy for the people, and people had started trusting in this organization so much that it was gaining pace, and people were starting to do more and more online shopping with Flipkart. And it was also giving a very close competition to its one of the biggest rivals, Amazon. So, with the arrival of the new year of 2016, this guy Sachin, I can show you, you can see their pictures on the screen. And this guy is Sachin, and this guy is Binny Bansal. So, Sachin decided to step down and become the executive chairman of the company, providing a strategic direction. And Binny, who was his co founder from the very beginning, will take on the role of CEO and will aim to make Flipkart a world class internet company. So, breaking the norms in the business and transforming their industry forever was a very good reason to present them in the For the Brave series, and we are sure that they will continue to, inspire all the entrepreneurs and the people who are willing to enter this business world, and especially the learners, the young learners who aspire to become entrepreneurs in future. These guys are really inspiring, and you should not only listen to my video but read a lot about them and their success story. So I will also share a few interesting facts about Flipkart with you people. Flipkart had a market share of 45% in 2015 only, and they were easily beating their competitors at that time, like Amazon and Snapdeal, which were actually doing pretty well at that time. In a second big billion sale, Flipkart saw a turnover of 300 million US dollars in gross merchandise volume. Time magazine named Sachin and Binny Bansal in their prestigious list of 100 most influential people in 2016. It's now clocking US $1.5 billion yearly, and is termed as India's Alibaba also. I hope you all know about Alibaba.com. So later on, Walmart and Alphabet, Google were in a race to take over this company. And in 2014, Flipkart had launched its own set of tablet, mobile phones, and phablets with the brand name DigiFlip. Flipkart also have their own search engine named as Sherlock, and Flipkart launched its in-house home appliances and personal healthcare brand Citron. So, as we move ahead, this session aims at answering a few questions like, what is Flipkart exactly? What is Flipkart's revenue generation? How would we analyze Flipkart's business model? And of course, what are the other sources of revenue of Flipkart? So these are the main points that we will be discussing in this session now onwards. So let us move ahead and first of all talk about what exactly is Flipkart. So basically, this Flipkart follows a clear business to consumer model. Okay, as far as your business models are concerned, we also know it as B2C model. So it works as a marketplace, which means that it is a middle platform that connects all interested sellers to various customers and assists in making the sale. So it has over 80 categories of items and other products, right from groceries to toiletries, clothes to books, shoes, furniture, electronic goods, and whatnot. So they have a wide assortment of ranges of products which are available at Flipkart's platform. And they also have a big billion day sale. It is like a festival in the country. People wait for that sale to come, and the moment it starts, people like log on to the website to grab as much as possible, wherein they offer best deals for the best products at the best time. So with these ideas of having big billion day sales and all, Flipkart had become so popular in Indian e-commerce platform that slowly Flipkart was now becoming a multi-channel platform actually, and it launched its fintech app which was called as PhonePe, and then they also recently launched their Furniture, which was only specifically for furniture. There is also news of starting of food retail business called as Farmer Mart very soon. So, now we will actually move on to the next step, which was the Flipkart's revenue generation, how Flipkart actually generates revenue. So, you know, Flipkart is in acquaintance and in association with a lot of other big names that we know, like NG Pay, Phone Pay, Upstream Commerce, eBay, Walmart. So to understand this revenue generation by Flipkart, even after facing a loss of somewhere around 46 crores in rupees, one has to know that 46,000 crores, okay, not 46 crores. So one has to know the sources of income for the company. The most obvious source of income is obviously via the sellers it enlists on its platform. It charges a varying and minimal commission along with a convenience fee from the sellers as per their sales or revenue or an establishment deal. So it comes into a deal with all these different brands whose products it actually places on its platform. And when any customer goes to Flipkart's website and purchases something, they only charge their commission on the sale that they have created, and of course the delivery charges, which is the uh, convenience fees. So that is how they generate revenue basically. Now there are some other options also. Like secondly, Flipkart has its own company which is called as eCart. That is only providing logistics and delivery services to the sellers on the platform. That is why it once again charges a minimum fees for its services. Then thirdly, when you open the website or their mobile application, there are various advertisements which are visible. Whenever you must be logging on to Flipkart's application or website, you must be also viewing different advertisements of different brands. So Flipkart actually lends space for these advertisements, and that is how it also generates revenue from the external sources. So I hope that you have understood that these are two, three different sources of revenue for Flipkart. So now we move ahead towards our third point, wherein we are going to analyze the Flipkart's business model. So, of course, Flipkart has a very interesting B2C model, as I just told you, which includes their customer relationship management also, their supply chain and logistics management also, and their advertisements, of course. So, how does this Flipkart functions exactly? Flipkart is basically an online B2C shopping portal which provides shopping opportunities to all sorts of Indian consumers. It allows the vendors to sell their ready to sell products by giving appealing discounts or during their sales to the consumers who actually wish to buy these products. So the buyers actually choose the products they want and they place an order and they are shipped to them. I hope that everybody knows that this is the basic process of buying goods from all these types of online shopping platforms. So the sellers get an agreed price after deducting some commission for Flipkart services and that are provided to their sellers. So there are multiple options for selling and buying through Flipkart, like through the main website of Flipkart. Then there is their web app also. There are other social websites also. And sometimes, advertised or affiliated networks like, review website, coupon websites, bloggers, they also keep blogging about Flipkart. So the percentage commission which is charged by Flipkart varies from the type of product and its sales. And it ranges right from 5% till 20%, excluding the taxes and discounts. So this is what is the basic idea with which Flipkart actually earns its online place. So I hope that I'm making it very clear to you as to what is their business model and how they are earning from it. Then I was saying that they have other sources of revenue generation also. Let's have a look at these different sources of revenue generation that Flipkart has. So Flipkart is generating revenue not just by selling the products, which it has on its platform, but from the other channels also. Like first being the web portal, by providing a platform to the sellers, Flipkart charges a commission for all the services that are given to them, proving to be a very basic source of revenue. Similarly, by listing a convenience fee, this is another method of revenue generation for Flipkart, wherein it charges some amount of listing fee to the sellers and convenience fee to the buyers for fast delivery. Okay, which means that I will be earning from two sides: the buyers, because I am supplying the product to them through my logistics and services, and I will also charge commission from the organizers whose products are listed on my website. So I am earning from two sources like this. I mean, Flipkart is earning from two sources like this. So this convenience fee that I just told you, this convenience fee is also including the options like any kind of gift wrapping charges. If you want, like if you want to send a gift to your relative or your friends, what you will do is you will just add the address of your relative or your friend, and they will ask you. There are 2 3 addresses which are mentioned on their website, like your home address, your office address. Now if you are getting it delivered on a third address, they give you this a pop-up comes on your window, and they ask you whether it is a gift for someone. And if you click yes, they ask you whether you want it to be wrapped. And if you are asking them to wrap it up, they will charge you some fees for that. Then, of course, the convenience fee, which also includes the gift wrapping, billings that add up to the total revenue of the company. Okay. Then there is this logistics actually, which from which they are earning. This is the revenue collected from the sellers for shipping their products from the producer's venue to the, or maybe the retail store to the consumer. So this provides services to its sellers which are similar to other courier companies. Okay. So the charges of delivery services vary from place to place, and of course, the distance that is required to be covered. If the distance that has to be covered is more, the fee that is going to be charged is going to increase, obviously. And of course, the next option from which Flipkart is earning its revenue is the digital media. Flipkart always sells ads to the sellers or brands as well as various products such as co-advertising, co-branding, etc. And this is how it is also earning its revenue. Then there are a lot of co-branded opportunities which are available on Flipkart. The slider on the Flipkart's homepage actually introduces a chance for the sellers to advertise their products, and it also launches to the buyers, which get thousands of views. So because there are thousands of people who will be getting logged on to Flipkart's website, and if there is a slider which is showing different ads, we always see it whenever we turn on the website, right? And you can just scroll through those ads to check whatever new products are there, or if there is a sale on some good product that I actually wanted to buy, I can just click on it and reach that page of the website where that product is been listed. Similarly, Flipkart also earns from co-advertising of products towards publications. So the ads that are shared by the newspapers and magazines front pages and allow the brands to advertise themselves, it's like that. So suppose a new phone has been launched in the market and Flipkart gets the ad on the front page of the newspaper, and the cost is shared with the brand that has to advertise the product. So that is what is actually co-advertising. So in a way, the seller also and the product's brand also And the best option is that the advertising charges get, or the media charges which Flipkart has to pay for the advertisement, they get splitted between Flipkart and the brands that are getting advertised. Similarly, they also have target search results. So this works like, when someone searches for a product on Flipkart's website, Flipkart decides which sellers' products are to be shown on the top to that particular, you know, customer. Say if one of the girls of the classroom is actually trying to search for a new, denim for herself, and Flipkart has been earning more commission from one particular brand. The moment you will enter your search, the first page will consist of only the product from that particular brand which is paying Flipkart more. So this is how Flipkart earns on the basis of the target search results. So this is the space that will be solved by Flipkart very shortly, and more and more products which are actually paying better commissions will be put in the first list of the search. Similarly, there is Mintra also. Mintra is actually a website which is owned by Flipkart, which is another online fashion portal that boosts up the overall fashion category of Flipkart actually. So Mintra earns a huge amount of sales on its fashion products and has been measured to be higher than the fashion sales of Flipkart. So the revenues which are earned by this website Mintra are accounted for the total earnings of Flipkart. So with this, I have almost explained you the entire business model of Flipkart, the avenues from where Flipkart is generating its revenues. I have also talked to you about the entrepreneurship that was involved here, and how these two youngsters, Sachin and Binny, started this business. So we have discussed the business model of Flipkart in a greater detail today, and I hope that this session has been informative for you. And as a concluding note, I would say that Flipkart has been focusing on bringing back the local brands onto its platform to improve the buying experience for its users. So the business model of Flipkart is all encompassing and has several revenue generating streams. So there is a lot to learn from Flipkart's revenue model also. And if time permits, I will be, in further sessions, maybe we will one day discuss the revenue generation model of Flipkart separately. There will be some more case studies of similar good business houses who have very good contemporary business models running, and they've been doing very well, and they've been very successful in their business that I want to share with you. It is going to be full of fun, and it will enlighten you about the business models and business houses under this course of Indian business houses that you have taken up. And the learners will get a lot for business models, and they'll be able to apply them that in the business houses that they will get associated with in future. And for, of course, the students who or the learners who want to start up their own business, it is going to be very, it must have been a very informative session, and the further sessions are going to be more informative for you. So as we conclude, this is a small quiz for all of you on the basis of the little case that we had today of Flipkart. Here is my first question. Name the founders of Flipkart. A. Craig Gelberg and Mark Elberg. B. Bhavin and Divyang Turakhia. C. Amit Jain and Anurag Jain. D. Sachin and Binny Bansal. Yes, the answer is D. Sachin and Binny Bansal. I am sure you must have not forgotten so fast. Here's my second question to you. Flipkart was first idealized by Sachin and Binny Bansal in the year A. 2001, B. 2007, C. 2009, D. 2011. And the answer is yes, D. 2007. Here's my third question. Initially, Flipkart was started as A. Coffee house, B. Bookstore, C. Hotel, D. Grocery store. And the answer is B. Bookstore. Here's my fourth question. Flipkart follows a dash A B2C model, B B2B model, C razor blades model, D one for one model. And the answer is A B2C model. I think I've not mentioned it on the screen, but the answer is A. Here is the fifth question. Flipkart launched its fintech app called A Paytm, B GPay, C RuPay, D PhonePe. Yes, the answer is PhonePe. I had explained this to you during the session. Here's my sixth question to all of you. Flipkart launched its own company called Dash that provides logistics and delivery services to the sellers on the platform. A. eCart, B. Big Basket, C. Snapdeal, D. OLX. And the answer is A. eCart. This is the seventh question of the quiz. Flipkart generates revenue not just by selling products, but has various revenue channels which include A. Web portals, B. Listing and convenience fee, C. Logistics, D. All of the above. And the answer is D. All of the above. This is my eighth question for you people. Dash is a website owned by Flipkart, which is another online fashion portal. We just discussed it at the end of the session. A. eBay, B. Agio, C. Myntra, D. Dealshare. And the answer is C. Myntra. So with this, we have come to an end of the session. School of Business Management at Suresh Gyamyar University signing off. Thank you so much.